I wanted to take a minute and go over one of our core values at Northview Church. Our church has 5 values. It's very important to know that values are not what I say they are. They're not what we say that we are. Values are what we do every day. Values are the things that we live to do and that we exemplify in our lives. Our first value at Northview Church is that Jesus is our foundation. You might say that sounds cliche. I would argue that even though that does sound cliche to some people, it has to be true with everything that we do. Think about a foundation. You can build a house on a foundation. You can build a skyscraper on a foundation. You can put some lawn chairs up on a foundation. You can pitch a tent on a foundation. And in church, we can be serving our community. We can be teaching our kids. We can be sharing on a Sunday morning. We can be giving generously of our own resources. We can be sharing Jesus with a friend at work. But the important thing is that we do all of that to glorify God and how God sent his son Jesus to save us from a life without him. No matter what we do at Northview, Jesus is the foundation of our message, of what we talk about. Jesus is the foundation of our lifestyle, what we do and don't do. Jesus is the foundation of our example. We want to set an example that doesn't exemplify a person on earth like me or you, but the person of Jesus. How did Jesus talk? How did he rest? How did he create relationships? How did he minister? We want to emulate those things. Jesus said, "You will do even greater things than I have been doing." What a challenge. You can only get there if Jesus is your foundation. At Northview Church, Jesus is our foundation. In 1 Corinthians 3, verse 11, Paul taught the Corinthians, there's no foundation that you can already lay that isn't already laid down, and that is Jesus. You can't go lay another foundation and make it bigger or stronger. You can build on it. Paul goes on to say you can build with gold or silver or hay or straw, but some point in time it will be tested. And you want what you've built to stand the test of time, but you can't even get to that point unless you're building on the foundation of Jesus. You can't go lay a foundation that can match up to Jesus. What does that mean for us? It means that every Sunday, every Thursday night, every Wednesday night, every ministry expression, we're going to start and end with the amazing grace of Jesus. We don't just want to make people sin conscious. We need to give people the understanding that sin separates us from God. Of course, no doubt, the problem is bad. But even more importantly, and I believe Jesus would exemplify this more than anybody, we want to make people Savior conscious. We want people to know that Jesus is the one that we can look to cover the sin in our lives, to apply grace. We so frequently focus on let's make each other feel terrible for the things that we've done. The devil already does a good enough job at that, making people feel defeated. We're here as Northview Church to give people hope in Jesus. Hope isn't just like, I think it might go well if certain circumstances go out. Hope spiritually is being confident in what Jesus has done on the cross for us, and that we can apply that to our lives as well. At Northview Church, we don't want ministry to be reduced to tasks. If Jesus is not the foundation, all ministry is reduced to things that you do. We want the task to become the mission. What that means is no matter what role someone plays at Northview Church, I am arranging cards in the pew holders for Jesus. I'm making handouts for Jesus. I'm sharing on a Sunday morning about Jesus. I'm leading a life group to glorify Jesus. I'm serving in the community, not to be cool, not to feel better about myself, but to make Jesus Christ known. There's so many great things that occur in the world, so much benevolence, so much kindness. It all still gets burned up in the flames at the end of this life unless it's on the foundation of Jesus Christ. At Northview Church, Jesus is our foundation. We start with his amazing grace, we end with his amazing grace, and our tasks become the mission of Jesus Christ. And we believe that as Northview Church, as we as a church make Jesus our foundation, that others will follow by making Jesus the foundation of their lives.